Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Now first of all, I want to say a massive thank you for all the support on the most recent POV. Within the 6-day time period, it blew up to my most viewed video, so thank you so much for that. To all the new subscribers that came from that video, my name is Imad. I do a lot of POVs, a lot of gear reviews and tips like this one. This will be 3 more tips for street photography. So without further ado, let's get into tip number 1. So the first tip for this video is keep your gear simple. When you're out and about, the last thing you want to be doing is worrying about which lens to be using for each specific scenario. Now what I like to do is I like to go out with 1 body and 2 at most, but mainly 1 lens. Now why do I do this? So the main reason why I do this is because I want to master 1 focal length, and I feel like that's a massive thing for a lot of newcomers to street photography. When you're out on the street, a lot of moments pass you by and you don't want to be worrying about what lens you're using or which one you want to put on. Rather, use the lens you have on and just go take the shot. Now with me, for instance, I love the 35mm focal length. I have it on my Canon, my Sony right now, and on my Fujifilm. And because I'm so used to the 35mm focal length, I can go out with any of my camera bodies, go to any of my locations, and I know what composition I'm looking for. So that already eliminates one of the things that a lot of people struggle with, which is composition. If you're constantly switching between lenses, you're gonna find it harder to adjust to how each shot will look, and eventually you're just gonna get frustrated. So tip number 1, keep your gear simple, go out with 1 lens and 1 camera body. Now tip number 2 is find a location and stick to it. Now in the first video, I gave the term fishing. Now what fishing is staying in the area and just looking for subjects come into your frame. And this ties into the first tip. If you know what focal length you're using and how it's going to look, fishing becomes a lot easier. So if you stay in a certain area, like I do in the video you're watching right now, you'll be able to find a lot of compositions and find photos that you like. So in this scenario, Leon hooked us up with our GoPros and we just recorded for flat out 40 minutes. We just kept doing laps around Soho and we see what we could capture. And as you can see from the footage that I'm showing right now, I was having a lot of fun. Because I knew the 35mm focal length, I was able to just walk around and compose how I see fit. And of course, some photos required cropping, but it's the point that I still knew what I would crop because I knew how to compose the initial image. Knowing certain areas also becomes very crucial down the line. If you eventually pick up client work and they're looking for a certain area, you'll know straight away, oh, Chinatown, Soho, Regent Street, Bond Street. It's just a matter of knowing where to go and what type of photos you want, and you learn that from just doing street photography and practicing in those areas. So tip number 2, pick an area and stick to it. And my third and final tip for this video is use your environment. So in the footage you're seeing on screen, I was using a lot of boxes, a lot of pillars, the windows, reflections, anything I can to make a shot look a bit more interesting and add another layer of depth to the image that adds to the overall storytelling is what I was looking for. I see too often some people just walking around and they'll just take a photo of someone and be like, yep, that's it. But if you take a second to slow down and add something else to the shot, maybe in the foreground, another element, say through a reflection, you'll see you become a much better photographer, and you'll like your images a lot more. They won't seem so flat. It adds a bit of character and dynamic to the image, which I'm sure a lot of people struggle with. So just to sum up the 3 tips I said in this video: first, keep your gear simple. Second, stick to a location. And third, use your environment. So yeah guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a bit shorter. A lot of people were asking me over on Instagram for a few more tips because they see that I go out often with my friends, and one of the key questions I get asked is how do you all get such different images? And for me personally, it's because I incorporate these things into my photos. But yeah guys, if you have any suggestions for other people, let me know down in the comments. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video, and as always, I've been your boy Mad Vision, and I'll see you guys in the next one.